So it's early 2026, and something massive is happening in the world of AI. It's this quiet but totally seismic shift. We're talking about moving way beyond the simple assistants we've gotten used to and into a whole new era of powerful, autonomous AI agents. And you know who's right at the center of it all? Microsoft. So let's dig in and break down what's really going on.
Okay, just think about this for a second. For the last few years, your AI has been, well, a pretty helpful copilot, right? It drafts emails, it answers questions when you ask, stuff like that. But what if it didn't need to be asked? What if it could just, manage entire projects completely on its own? Well, that's not some sci-fi prediction. It's literally the reality of 2026. We are officially in the age of the AI agent. And I want to be super clear. This isn't just another software update. No way. This is a brand new chapter in how we use technology. We're moving from AI that just sits there waiting for you to AI that takes action all by itself. So, to really get a handle on this huge shift, we've got to look at what a lot of researchers are calling the agentic evolution. It's a great name for it because it perfectly describes the journey from an AI that just assists you to an AI that genuinely works for you. Yeah, the source material really nails it by calling it a move from assistive to autonomous. And let's focus on that one word for a sec, autonomous. That's the game changer. It means a level of independence, of proactive thinking that we just haven't seen in AI for the everyday person until now. So, what is agentic AI, really? Look, it's not about answering one little question in one single app. Not at all. It's about orchestrating these big, complex processes that stretch across multiple applications. I mean, just imagine an AI that manages a whole invoicing workflow, from the moment an email comes in to updating the accounting software to sending a confirmation. All of it without you having to do a single thing. That is a massive leap forward. But, this whole evolution didn't just pop out of nowhere. It couldn't have happened without a complete revolution at the most basic level, the hardware itself. It's all built on this new foundation of powerful silicon, incredible speed, and super important data sovereignty. And the scale of this hardware revolution, it's just staggering. Get this, by 2026, more than half, 55%, of all new PCs being sold have these things called neural processing units, or NPUs. Think of them as a special brain in your computer designed to do one thing and one thing only, run AI tasks. And that makes your local machine unbelievably powerful. This, right here, is the moment the true AI PC finally arrived. And of course, you've got the heavyweights battling it out in this new arena. You're looking at Qualcomm Snapdragon X2 Elite, which is just insane. It's pushing 80 trillion operations per second. That's TOPS for short. And yeah, trillion with a T. And it does all that while giving you multi-day battery life? Then you've got Intel and AMD right in the mix with their own incredibly powerful chips. Believe me, this is not some niche market. It is an all-out, high-stakes race to put a supercomputer on every single desk. And the performance jump you get from this, it's just wild. A new Copilot Plus PC isn't just, a little bit faster. We're talking up to 5 times faster in key areas compared to a PC that's just 5 years old. And it's not just about raw speed. It's about headroom. The NPU, that dedicated AI brain, it's handling all the AI stuff in the background, which means your main processor is totally free to focus on what you're actually doing. Everything just feels smoother. Okay, so when you have all this incredible power right there on your device, the whole idea of an AI assistant just changes. It evolves. We're not just talking about a tool anymore. We're talking about a manageable, scalable, digital workforce. That's right. For all intents and purposes, these agents are your new digital coworkers. And of course, if you're gonna have a digital workforce, you need a way to manage it, right? You can't just let them run wild. And that's exactly where Microsoft's Agent 365 steps in. The best way to think about it is like a central HR and IT department, but for your AI agents. Its whole job is to make sure they're all operating securely and doing what they're supposed to do across the entire company. So how does it actually work? Well, it's a really smart 4-step governance model. First up, identity management. Every single agent gets its own unique intra-agent ID, which is basically like an employee ID number so you can track everything it does. Step 2, threat protection. You've got Microsoft Defender constantly watching them, looking for any weird or rogue behavior. Third, data security. Microsoft Purview is on the case, enforcing all your data policies to make absolutely sure no sensitive info gets leaked.
And finally, observational. There's a central registry that's like a complete company directory of every agent you have, whether you built it or bought it. It's the whole package, a full-on framework for managing an autonomous workforce. Now, the secret sauce powering all these agents is a technology called Work IQ. This is the real intelligence layer. It's what gives Copilot its context. It knows who you are, what your job is, and what you're trying to get done. And because it has this deep understanding, it can start to predict what you're going to need next. That's what makes the assistant so incredibly relevant and proactive. It's not waiting for you, it's one step ahead. And this is where the rubber really meets the road. We're seeing these hyper-specialized agents designed for very specific jobs. For instance, you've got a payables agent in Dynamics 365 that just automates invoicing. In the healthcare world, DAX Copilot is automatically handling clinical documentation right inside platforms like Epic. And for all you developers out there, GitHub Copilot can now operate in an agent mode, analyzing and even editing entire code bases all by itself. These things are becoming true experts in their specific fields. Okay, so we've seen the tech, which is pretty mind-blowing, but let's pull back and look at the bigger picture. How are companies actually adopting this? Who are the major players in the game? And what's the long-term strategy here? On the surface, the adoption numbers look fantastic. I mean, 70% of the Fortune 500 are already using Copilot. That's huge. But that number only tells you part of the story. Because while the adoption is wide, the real challenge these companies are facing is getting deep usage. And that really gets to the heart of the main challenge right now. For a lot of organizations, the usage is being described as broad but shallow. What that means is lots of people are trying it out, they're experimenting, but very few have truly woven AI into the fabric of their daily work. And the biggest reason for that? It's something called the prompting skill gap. Basically, we're all still learning how to talk to these things, how to effectively delegate real work to these incredibly powerful new tools. And on top of that skill gap, you've got other barriers. You've got pilot fatigue. Companies are tired of just endless testing. It can be really hard to prove a clear return on investment. And maybe the biggest one is just the massive job of getting all your company data clean, organized, and secure enough for an AI to actually use it. These are the messy, real-world hurdles that businesses are trying to clear right now. So in the middle of all these challenges, the competitive landscape has gotten really, really clear. And there's a great way to think about the three big players using these simple analogies. You've got Microsoft's Copilot, positioned as the reliable, rule-following digital employee. Then there's Google's Gemini, which is like the all-knowing corporate librarian. And finally, OpenAI's ChatGPT, which is the creative, out-of-the-box innovation partner. And this table really breaks down that whole competitive landscape. So for Microsoft, its superpower is how deeply it's already integrated into everything businesses use. M365, Windows, it just slots right in and inherits all the security you already have. Google Gemini, on the other hand, is built for deep research. Its advantage is this absolutely massive context window. We're talking over 1 million tokens, so it can digest and analyze huge amounts of information at once. And then you have ChatGPT Enterprise, running on GPT 5.2. It's still the undisputed king of pure open-ended reasoning and coming up with those breakthrough ideas. You can see how each one has really carved out its own distinct strategic lane. So at the end of the day, Microsoft's strategy is pretty clear. They're selling one complete, unified package. This isn't just about software anymore. They are connecting the dots, all the way from the custom silicon chip inside your PC to the agentic software you use every single day to the sovereign cloud that keeps all your data safe. It's a true end-to-end ecosystem built from the ground up for this new age of AI. And all of this brings us to one final really critical question. This stuff isn't coming soon. It's not on the horizon. It is here, right now. The agentic era is officially underway, and it's bringing a brand new autonomous digital workforce with it. So the only real question left is your organization ready for it?